My cat, well, both of the cats, but mostly mine, Tassie, she knows in the morning that when my alarm goes off that I'm supposed to be getting up out of bed, and the first thing that I do when I get out of bed is I go and I feed them before I get my cup of coffee. And so if my alarm goes off and I'm lazy, which is pretty much almost every morning, and I don't get up right away, then she starts to pester me, and she's really insistent about it, and meowing and carrying on. And then if I still don't get up, then the only time she ever does this, she'll go up into the window and she like tries to growl, but it really comes out as like a growly meow. And because she doesn't know how to growl, she's never growled a single day in her life. And so, she shows her frustration in the window, and then she'll launch herself out of the window super hard and hit the bed like a bowling ball, trying to shake me until I get up. Yeah, she is quite insistent.
Yeah, back in Arizona, we used to do pug rescue. We had our 2 pugs, and we'd have anywhere from 1 to 4 rescues as they were being hopefully rehomed. And I'd take them to the dog park every day.
Right.
And you'd see Molly would look out the curtains, and she'd tilt her head, and she would try and gauge the angle of the sun, because she knew about when it was supposed to be. It was annoying and hilarious.
I got a door for the chicken coop that opens when the light hits it. Oh my god, my life is like so much better.
Nice. Nice. All right, welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We will be picking up where we left off. Tonight will be the finale of the Mystery of BT-SHT 365. And it will end on a bit of a cliffhanger that we will pick up in the near future. I am so very close to having some playtest material ready to go for you guys. I've got 2 groups that are going to be doing playtesting. The other group is way larger than this one. It's like 9 players. So we're really going to, between you guys and the other group, we're really going to put Shadow of the Petrovskis through the ringer so that I can hammer out some final details and clean it up, and then I can get it out to the people through Drivethrurpg. It'll have all new maps, custom maps that went ahead and I finally was able to get the Dungeon Fog commercial license. So all of those maps will be custom made for the game, and I'm chugging along. I'm officially about, I would say I'm probably at about the halfway mark, so of where I would consider it, or consider this draft to be good and done. So it's coming. So all the people that keep hammering at me, boy, I wish the author would put out. I always find it funny when I post a video for this game that we're doing Mystery. They'll say, somebody will inevitably always reply in the comments, "Oh, sure would be nice if the author would have put out the other 2 sequels." I'm like, I am the author. It's coming. I promise. I know it's been like 4 years, but I swear to God, it's coming. So, before we get started, we would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. These are not partnerships or sponsorships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. Tonight, we would like to thank the Speechless Bard. She makes leather products for your tabletop role-playing games. And that always cracks me up, especially if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're like, oh yeah, she makes leather products for your Dungeons and Dragons, dungeons. What kind of game is this? Leather products. But no, she doesn't make harnesses and cat o' nine tails. She makes like leather covers for your role-playing core rule books. She makes she has a dice rolling mat that when it rolls up it looks like a spell scroll. She has a new product called the Spell Compendium, and it is a small, it looks like a small spell book, and when you open it up, one half is like for holding a deck of cards, the other half can be used as like a dice tray, and on the inside of the book cover is a magnetic spell tracker. It's really cool. If you're going to order from her, either for yourself or especially if it's a gift idea, give yourself a little bit of extra time. She's over in the UK, so especially with our current or still ongoing, I never thought I would be saying this 2 years into it, but it's still ongoing, our supply chain issues. She's in the UK, so it can take a little bit of time to cross the pond. If you're a fan of our Traveler game for Wednesday nights, we do have a website via Obsidian Portal. The adventure log on that site is written as if it were news articles from Traveler News Service, and those articles mostly deal with everything going on all across the Trojan Reach and occasionally stuff coming in from the outside. But since the travelers in this game are becoming more and more notorious, they are starting to take more front page news and becoming more infamous. If you like what you read, please go to the front page and give us a thumbs up. We do like to see those fan likes. And one last little blurb. If you are looking to play in a Traveler game, we are looking to start a Traveler Deep Night Revelation campaign on Friday nights, West Coast, PST, from 7 to 9 p.m. It'll be two-hour games weekly. There will be a $5 charge to play, simply to cover bandwidth costs, maps, assets, books, etc., etc. And new players are completely welcome. We can get you up and running and start. We have all the materials that are needed. So if you want to play Traveler, we are looking for a new crew to basically go off into the deeper, uncharted regions of space on a grand exploration mission, estimated to take 20 years round trip to get to the point and return. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, comment on this video and I will take a look at it, and I will get back to you and we can get you enrolled in that. So where we left off last week in Pirates of Drinax is you guys had taken care of the Judecco forces in the Royal Hangar, and you found a 1,000 D-ton Destroyer Escort, Rasputin-class. This is a Sindalian ship, and it looks like, aside from the fact that it's a little dusty from sitting in the Royal Hangar for, 1,000 or more years, it basically looks like somebody had just taken the bubble wrap off of it. The entire interior of the ship smells like a brand new car stereo. The carpeting is red, luscious, and spectacular. There are the hallways of this ship. So one of the things about Sindalian designs is that they actually wasted a lot of space simply to show off. My cat's attacking me. So I don't know, maybe you're right, Wes. Maybe the animals are freaks tonight. So they wasted a lot of space just for ostentatious purposes. Like hallways are bigger than they really need to be. Like I said, everything has this luscious red carpet. There are, oh God, stop it! There are polished brass fittings and handrails almost everywhere. Buttons on consoles aren't just buttons; they're actually polished crystal. they're almost everywhere in this ship. Instead of there just being a where a normal like display screen would suffice, instead they actually have holographic controls everywhere. There are Petrovsky family banners that are tapestries that are hanging in the halls. I mean, the ship just oozes money. Much like the Harrier, Capri Sun. I mean, it's not quite to that point yet, but you are in the process of restoring it. And so, yeah, a lot like that. Exactly what you would expect.
Before we get too much into what team to get on this thing, my immediate reaction would have been when told they were doing that is I would have wanted to go check on that scout ship.
Right. Yeah, I forgot. I'm going to move you down here.
Right, because you're talking about the shuttle missing. I would probably want to check for that, and if I see that shuttle, I would want a missile shot at it.
Right. So, you guys make it up to the bridge. And before we get to this too hard, just another quick pass. This is the deck plans that Mr. Kevin Conway made for us. Now the bridge is down here. And I mean, it's really hard to describe how big this ship really is. When I created this ship, so I had read, and this isn't entirely off base, but I had read, I think it was in the original second edition of High Guard, or maybe it was in one of the Traveler, or one of the journals of the Traveler Aid Society, that anything from 100 tons to 1,000 tons was generally suitable for a player character adventuring ship. I don't know how large a groups these people are playing with, but if you really kit out a 1,000 ton ship, that is a lot of crew positions. I mean, just for gunners alone, that's a lot of seats. So I mean, I can only imagine in order to effectively crew this thing, we would need a player group of something, and I'm not exaggerating here, 10 to 12 players sitting at a table to crew this thing. If this was like at a convention or something like that, I could totally see that happening. But for most home groups, I mean, unless you want to get into doing a lot of math to hire NPC crew and whatnot, this ship is just big. And not only that, but I mean, then there's the problem of, you're not going to be able to land at every port, et cetera, et cetera. Not a lot of cargo space. Essentially, this thing is like the Rocinante. So it's really good at blowing stuff up, but it takes some work to get it to do much of anything else.
It would be excellent to give it to the princess or King Oleb or whoever's currently in charge.
Right, and so that was basically what Dame Coraline Petrovsky told Ting on the bridge, is that she's really excited that you guys found this. I mean, the planet, she was kind of hoping that there was something more to the planet. I mean, of course, it would be too much to hope for that there was any kind of civilization or survivors of any kind on this planet. That was, of course, too much to hope for. But the planet was supposed to be, or her line of thinking is that this is my birthright, and the only thing that she's really getting out of this that's worth a damn is this ship. And so she plans, of course, she's a noble from the Spinward Marches, Regina to be exactly, to put a pinpoint on it. Her plan is, I mean, she's only a dame, which is the equivalent of a knight. It's a lady knight. And of course, she wants to aspire to more than that. And this ship is, and she makes it plain to Ting, that this ship is really going to be her inroads into royalty in the Trojan Reach. And really, more or less, reestablishing the Royal Petrovsky name in the Trojan Reach. Because...
But is she willing to, as far as the ownership of the ship and all that, I'm not really at liberty to agree or accept anything, but, if you pledge loyalty to King Oleb and his heirs, that would probably go a long way to making your claim of this ship, more valid. But again, I'm not one to, give you permission or not.
Well, and
I serve tea and crumpets.
She agrees with you 100%. In fact, she says, any polity in the Trojan Reach would be drooling all over themselves to get their hands on this ship. Or to have somebody that would be willing to join their royal court that had control of this ship. Nobody has a boat this big. And so that's going to be her this is going to be what opens the doors for her to newfound royalty and fame. And
with a ship like this, the wicked will flee, and you won't even have to chase them.
She laughs at your terminology for the wicked. She says, "Oh, Ting, you do have a way with words, but I don't really care about the wicked." She says, all I care about is getting what I want and what's mine. And she says, she says, I know that you're young. She says, but it would be, here is a wise piece of advice that I've learned throughout the years. And that is that there's really no such thing as good or evil or really right or wrong. Everything is just a different point of view. It's a different perspective. And she says,
I would offer that the wicked is anybody that's not on my side. The adversaries must be wicked. That is, that's part of a code I follow. That and my pacifist nature.
And she says that is true. But don't be too far above yourself to changing sides if that will benefit you.
Well, there must be a good benefit, that is the basis of friendship, friends with benefits.
So, Shenanigans, following your request, has changed course and is heading for the Donisev-class scout ship.
Yes.
It is pulling back up out of the atmosphere and heading for this scout ship. There are no signs of this missing launch. So if you guys remember, when you get to the bridge, you discover a few things. And I'm going to randomly move you around the... Actually, I imagine Chang-Chi is going to want to go to a pilot station.
This is like a Star Destroyer.
Well, a lot smaller, but yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
On the back, it's got... It is that triangular shape, but on the back, it's got these, curved, almost bird of prey-like wings, ailerons. So you guys go around the ship, everybody can make a electronics, computers plus intellect or education check, and I will tell you what each of you finds.
$13.
Okay. So change.
14.
Nice.
Sorry. Well,
I'm sorry. What'd you get, Beth?
10.
Okay.
I'm just a die in the doghouse with 8.
So I will start with Ox. So Ox, you find some logs about this missing launch, and you can see where this launch was supposed to have docked, and so I mean, basically the back of the ship or the underside of the ship has a small docking space, and this launch there's an empty space there for a 2010 launch, but you find some logs concerning that the ship left, and according to what you're seeing, it had docked with the high port that is now no longer with us due to your...
And this is how long ago?
Maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, a 2010 launch is not capable of jump, so and there was no sign that it had left the high port, which the high port is now debris. So it would be a safe bet that ship's launch is also said debris, or floating out there somewhere. Probably not in the best condition. Qing Shi, you find that the astrogation computer is on, and that there is a plot, that there is a course already laid in.
Do I have any indication from my knowledge? Let's see, what am I in astrogation? I'm an astrogation 2. Is there any indication from what I know of approximately where it's headed?
So you do. Yeah, this is embarrassing. I wrote this and I have to look this up. So you're able to check the astrogation, but there are a couple of problems. The first problem is that it is under a security code lockdown. And this is not something that anybody's going to be able to hack. It is locked down, encrypted with ancient, 2,000-year-old encryption key that simply doesn't exist anymore, at least not to you guys. There is the possibility that the ship, that you could unlock this back on the floating palace of Drinax with information from the Scholar's Tower. What you do find out is that the course, in a very general aspect, it looks like the course is heading towards 1 parsec coreward of Thalassa. Now, a parsec, of course, is 3.26 light years, so 1 hex is 3.26 light years, and that's a blank space as far as your maps are concerned. So finding the exact location in 3.26 light years, with it being currently encrypted, it would be a little scary to press the jump button and go, okay, let's see where we come out. But
So a while back, and I apologize having not been here, it's not terribly helpful. We found like the star maps that had the blank spaces or that had things that we hadn't seen before.
Correct.
Is that how we got here?
Yes. But those star maps, this would be like if you just had a dotted line that pointed to a blank hex, and there was no way to zoom in on that blank hex going, okay, well, right here is a fuel depot. So
right, I'm just confirming that what we found does not fit in that blank hex.
Right.
Okay.
No, yeah, this is, in fact, I'll show you. Let me find the other one.
Because that would be really handy if a few plays ago we found the piece that fits into that puzzle that's missing.
Well,
that would take us directly where this went. But
you did find that. In fact, you're.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, you're.
If we are standing on the planet, that is what.
That is correct. That is correct. So, and this is the map that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, you are standing on that location right now, BT-SHT 365. So, directly, quote unquote, north, that would be coreward of Thalassa, is where this ship looks like it's ready to jump. Now, like I said, you don't know what is or isn't there, and it's always a little scary to jump into blank space because you don't know what you're going to find. You don't know what the condition of that area is. I mean, shit, you could be jumping into a black hole. You just simply don't know.
With the navigation locked, is there a way to get the ship anywhere else?
Oh, yeah.
Or do we have to go there first because that's what the navigation is set to?
No. You can set another course. This astrogation computer it's kind of like the memory function on a calculator. You can set another course and then be like, oh, I'm going to hit M1 and bring up the one that was saved in there. Okay. Now, like I said, this is, of course, you guys have, what am I doing? You guys have access to full schematic readouts.
I think we go back to our base and call all the banners and then man the ship and then go have fun. That's my vote.
And so Keith,
grab Teddy, grab all of the random Marines we've offered parlay to, and stuff them in here. We have a full crew. Let's take a battleship. That's my vote.
We'll dip into our reserve NPCs.
Mm-hmm. The reserves.
Head to fantasy. Round everybody up.
We're gonna have to pull up the C team.
We've been saving them for.
So, on Keith's console, and all of these consoles, because they're holographic controls, and I mean this isn't abnormal, but any console can be configured to do anything. Technically speaking, where Keith is sitting right now, he could configure the console to be piloting position if he really wanted to. But Keith, you discover, well, not so much discover, but you're looking through the ship. It has thrust 6, and it is capable of jump 4. So this thing can really get out there.
Nice.
You've got, it's got 27 staterooms, plus 10 low berths, 3 triple turrets full of pulse lasers, a triple turret with sandcasters, fusion barbette, a missile barbette, and a torpedo barbette. So, I mean, this thing, yeah, this is excessive. Plus, it's got a 20-ton docking space for a launch, has recreational facilities, medical bay, armory, briefing room. It is a pretty fantastic ship. You learn, just looking over the engineering section, this thing's been basically idling since the fall of Sindal. So, a couple thousand years. Yeah. It's just sitting there ready to go, but you do a check, and it, according to your console, everything is coming up in the green 5x5. Aside from the fact that it's been, idling for 400,000 miles, it seems to be ready to go like it's brand new.
How are the fuel tanks?
The fuel tanks are good, but it's not going to be capable of jump 4 at this point. It would only be capable of jump 2. And so that it would need to refuel, which shouldn't be a problem. There is a gas giant in system. Or at least, you could take it somewhere close by, like Thalassa, and refuel there. If you wanted to get back to civilization, which Thalassa is not too bad. They might, shit their pants a little bit at a Sindalian Destroyer Escort suddenly appearing in their space, but I'm sure they could get over that. So, Beth, you are checking out the consoles, and you are picking up a neural pattern that is coming towards the bridge. And you're like, you're doing a head count, and you're like, but except for Ting, we're all here and we know where Ting is. So, who the fuck is this?
All right. Everybody prepare to engage, I suppose. When will we get a chance to look at that globe we found?
The orb?
Orb, I mean, yeah, not globe.
Yeah, the black orb. You'll have a chance to do that here in just a moment.
Okay, cool.
The bridge doors open, and in steps a woman, and she has long black hair. She is clearly cybered out, and the immediate first thing that you realize is that she looks like an older version of 37, the girl that you rescued. In her right hand, she is holding a static blade. In her left hand, she has a Gauss pistol. If you remember, somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody was smart and asked the question last week of who the donor DNA was for. They asked the scientists down in the infirmary who the donor DNA was for these clones, and they told you that it was somebody named Silvaria Marios. This would be Silvaria Marios.
So do we still have 37 on our ship?
She is on shenanigans with Ting.
Well, yeah, one of our ships. Okay. It might be worth, before Cyber What's-Her-Face gets us, to let her know that we've got one of her daughters that's safe and we'd love to reunite them.
We unfroze like 4 children clones, so
Nice.
that's 2 also.
So we got a whole mess of them?
Yeah, they left them down in the infirmary. I mean, you would have learned from the scientists that they may look friendly, but they are not friends. I mean, as soon as those guys wake up, if you were in the room, they would have immediately tried to attack you. So, everybody go ahead and roll initiative. Because she is not messing around. She is an assassin here to assassinate. Yeah. Ox got exactly a 0. Ooh. Look at Beth quick on the draw.
Oh, you want me to roll as well? Is that...
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you know, you don't need to, because you're up on the ship, and that's a whole separate thing. So we will get back to you. Let's see here. So, between Beth and Ching Shi, which one of you wants to go first?
I will definitely follow Captain's lead.
Okay.
That feels automatic.
So these doors open up, Beth, and you kind of warned everybody, so it's not like it was a surprise that she was coming in, and she is already armed and ready to go. Beth, what would you like to do?
Can I aim and then ask her if she cares about any of her clones?
Yeah. So you can aim. That'll give you a +1 to your attack. As a free action, you can ask her if she cares about her clones. She lets out a derisive kind of snorting laugh.
Oh, okay. Alright, it's murdering. What am I pointing? Okay, I wouldn't be pointing at PGMP, that'd be insane.
Yeah, that would.
Damn it,
I don't know that you'd want to light off a PGMP inside your fancy new ship here.
Yeah. Okay, let us go with the Nova gun.
All right.
That is 11.
All right. Hold on here. Here she is. Okay. All right, so that is a hit with a +3 to damage.
$18.
So she'll take 10.
Cool.
Ouch. That is one of your better hits with the Nova gun.
Yeah, for real.
All right. Ching Shi, what would you like to do?
I will just fire with my advanced combat rifle.
Okay.
It's boring, but it works. Or I will try to things. 11.
All right, that is a +3 to damage.
Okay. Ew, ew. 7. Oh, +3, 10.
Okay.
That's terrible.
So she will take 2.
She laughs again, like she did when we mentioned her kids.
I mean, I don't know if you really can call them kids. I mean, they can literally come about from toenail clippings. So, you know. Anything with your minor action?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we're in tight enough quarters. There's not really any fancy footwork to do.
Okay.
I feel like we'll have her well at hand shortly, hopefully.
Okay.
She said, as her final words.
I mean, shit, all of you are in battle dress. And she can just get to the captain. I have too many screens. So the new version of the PDF for the new version of the Central Supply Catalog will be out in November. Kind of excited about that. The 2022 update. So she uses her minor action to move up to Beth. And she is going to attack with her static blade, which has AP 6. Oh my! And she has melee blade 4. Luckily, she's taken enough damage that her dex modifier is 0. And she hits with an 8. Just hits. 4. I don't think she got through your battle dress. No, she did not. Done 10 points of damage. And she is like 8 shy of getting through, or 9 shy of getting through your battle dress. So your battle dress has a nice big cat scratch in it now. Ox, what would you like to do?
Something foolish. I'm going to move here and whack her with the butt of my combat rifle.
Ooh, gonna use the combat rifle as a club.
Yeah, well, I think it's better than spraying bullets all over the place.
Yeah, that is likely true. So
I have no skill with this, so here we go.
All right. So you're at -3.
Did that take that? That did not take that into account. Interesting. So that's actually a 1.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it did, because I rolled 6 plus 2 for dex. -3. Okay, yeah. So I got a 4. Still a horrible miss.
Yes, but it's not. It's not.
I didn't trip myself on the gun.
It's still an average failure. So, I mean, if you'd have gotten a -6, I'd have had you miss or her like just kind of duck to the side, and you would have hit Beth in the face.
I could have got lucky. This is not my forte.
That's true.
Combat.
Yeah, but. Good choice in trying to save the interior of the ship. Keith, what would you like to do?
Let's see. Just a moment. Looks like I can move there. So I'm going to move here and fire with my laser rifle.
Okay.
See how I do. And I get an 8.
That is a hit. No bonus to damage, but you did hit.
All right. So that's 20.
Oh, shit. Okay, so... hold on here. Sorry, I'm just figuring out what she can do here. Let's see here. Trying to see how she can avoid dying, more or less. Okay, so shit. There is nothing she can do. And you get cut through her ballistic vest, and she crumples the floor unconscious.
Yay.
Very nicely played.
Low birth or what? You got a bunch of them.
What was that?
I don't know if we want to keep her around.
Right.
We stick her in the low birth because there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's 10 low berths. You could stick her in a low berth. She is like grievously wounded. Like she's gonna need surgery. If you stick her in a low berth, of course that is going to flash freeze that process. But she is so badly wounded at this point that she probably won't survive the thawing process.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could just, dump her out an airlock, whatever you want.
You can space her. I mean, yeah. I hope there's not a whole bunch more of those.
Right?
Around.
So, well, you know that there are at least, there was at least 5 that you left in the sick bay, so, in the base, or in the Royal Palace. So, at this point, the question really is, and you check the sensors again, and you do not find any indication that there's anybody else on board this ship.
Okay, good.
The ship is yours at this point. The question then comes as to what you guys want to do.
I want to know what's in the mystery orb. I do.
Well, you could, before you decide to do anything, you could have Ching Shi take a look at it.
If she feels up to it, to using up psychic points on an orb.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'd like to get Orby.
Okay. So you can spend 2 psychic points to activate this orb.
Okay.
Just like last time, everything falls away. And you are left standing in a black void of space. It's Orban time. And you can, when you look behind you, you can see, or whatever behind you is. There's no up, down, whatever. But you look over your shoulder, and the before when you looked, you could see that there were planets crashing into each other. There were stars going supernova. It was Armageddon. And that seems like it's off in the distance now. And you now realize you're actually moving. And you get to a... You see you're moving towards a distant speck of light that is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you realize that this is actually a star system. And as you get closer to it, you can see that there are, of course, planets orbiting this star. You're not sure what star it is. You're not sure if any of these worlds are worlds that you know. But you see that one of the worlds out towards the outside, towards the ass end of this solar system, is a very large gas giant. Like Jupiter or bigger size. And it has a ring system. And you see yourself, as you get into the actual solar system, veering towards this large gas giant. And in the rings, in the asteroid belt around the planet, rather, because that's what rings are, you see a large ring-like metal construct. This is not a naturally occurring item. It is built. And you hear a voice say, use the keys. And then everything collapses back in on you, and you have a terrible headache. You're sitting back on the bridge, and you got a slightly bloody nose.
Okay, so now I want to go to Mystery Hex. Okay, so obviously I convey that all to everyone what I saw, and that the apocalyptic destruction was behind us, and that there's this planet, etc., that appears to be watched over by a construct. Okay. I want to go to there.
Well, you don't know where there is. That's the problem.
But I bet the ship I'm sitting in does.
I vote we fuel up first.
Sure, yeah. Well, and we can even figure out how to take this to the king first, and then get in our ship and go. But if we're gonna go to Mystery, who knows where'sville, maybe we want a big ass destroyer to take us there instead of a dinky tea kettle tin can. If I was gonna go to Mystery system, I'd want to be in the biggest, baddest thing I could get my hands on.
Yeah, but even with all of us, we can't even crew the turrets.
Right. That's
right, but we have an entire fleet. We have a fleet of manned ships. We can call when I say strike the banners, I mean it.
Light the signal fires.
Exactly.
Sure, if we want an NPC crew.
So
Let's figure out where it goes first, and then we'll worry about what we go there.
Okay.
So Ching Shi, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
13.
All right. So she makes it look fairly easy. This is, other than your time in the Navy, this is probably the biggest ship that you've flown since you were in the Navy.
Sure.
And you take her off out of this this docking bay. Like I said, back in its heyday, this must have been an amazing sight. You can only imagine what a 1,000-ton destroyer escort coming out through a waterfall would have looked like. And you make for space. Ting, make a electronics sensors plus intellect or education check.
I got a 5.
Okay. So you're doing a sweep. You don't find anything. You find the Donosev, of course. It is still in the same position that it was in before when you left it the first time. But you're doing a sensor sweep, and you're not finding anything but debris from the von Braun high port. When you hit it with that missile, the whole thing just kind of shredded apart. And so all you're finding are varying sizes, chunks of spaceport as this thing. It's literally starting to either start to make its own orbit around the planet, or it is hitting the atmosphere and coming in to the planet.
We should probably avoid that.
Yeah. But you do see the Rasputin coming up out of the atmosphere, coming towards you. Wow.
Yeah, we're in contact though, aren't we?
If I remember correctly, yeah, you guys were still in contact. So, I mean, you're aware that it's your guys.
I would like to be blowing through the comms the song Rasputin. Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. Like, as we pull out of space, I want that as loud as possible. Echoing through the empty halls, because it's 1,000 years old and hasn't played any music. Okay, I'm done.
All right.
I said the same song lyrics every time Rasputin is mentioned.
So, you guys kind of dock up, and
do we have like a three-way going with this little scout ship too? Because I mean that's a very valuable property just there.
Yeah, just sitting there.
Plus, I mean, it's got the company hard drives and stuff that should lead paper trails or whatever for the advocate side of the adventure.
Yeah, how big is that ship?
So the Donosev, let's see here. I want to say 400 tons, but don't quote me on that.
4,000 tons.
No, not that big.
Well, I wasn't quoting you.
It is... And I'm close. Here it is. It is a Survey Scout Donosev class. It is 400 tons. It has jump 3 and thrust 2.
Interesting.
And it does
So
have
somewhat slow in system, but it's got a nice jump to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't currently have a pilot. Now, so when you guys... So yeah, you can dock up with both of these ships. So the first thing is that Dame Coraline Petrovsky again reiterates. She's like, "No, this is my ship," and she says she and Ting have been talking. Is what she says, and she says She agrees with Ting. She would like, if you wouldn't mind working for a bonus, taking her and the Rasputin to Drinax, so that she can present herself to King Oleb and the court, and kind of go about setting up her new lineage.
That sounds awesome.
And as for a bonus, she agrees that for a bonus fee, and as thanks for doing such a excellent job helping her, she can pay you guys another 500,000 credits.
What about using your newly gained political influence to having the Capri Sun's jump drives upgraded to J3 with all these cool spares and you know, great political capital we're about to have?
So, and I'm sure Devin probably hasn't read High Guard, or maybe he has, I don't know. But Keith would be the first to kind of say that that's a lot of there's problems in doing that. So
that's just
the first problem is, of course, that the J drive takes up a percentage of the total of the hull, and so the question then comes in: well, where are you going to fit this extra large J drive? The most likely candidate would be to remove some of the cargo space, which is a problem if you're wanting to use the Capri Sun as a commerce raider, pirate ship.
Fuel space will kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
Then there's the problem of fuel space, because it's going to take, more fuel for J3. And so I'm not saying that it's impossible, but all of a sudden you've got a ship with really long jump drive, but it doesn't have very many guns on it, and it doesn't have very much cargo space because of fuel and jump drive capacity. So
well, I'm not an engineer.
that would be a problem.
We got the shenanigans, though. That's good.
Yeah, and the scout ship.
Right.
Yeah, this 400-ton.
Now,
it's really more than a scout. I mean, it's not like a Type S or nothing.
it is, well, actually, it is. It is a survey scout. So these Donosev-class survey scouts are kind of sent out. So like the Type S, like the Jabrobi, would go out and it finds a new system or a new discovery. And it logs that. And then it might do a little bit of exploration. And then it comes back and it says, this is what we found. The next stage would probably be for them to send out a survey scout, Donosev class. And they would stay on station for a little bit longer. This is kind of that in-between role between like a Type S and like a laboratory ship. This is kind of, that kind of situation. It's got advanced probe drones, things like that. It stays in system a little bit longer and kind of surveys the system, figures out, well, is there anything, monetarily, is there anything worth having here? That kind of stuff. It is unarmed. Of course, at 400 tons, I mean, you could put 4 turrets on it. So that's not really an enormous issue. It's slow. And it only has 15 tons of cargo space. So, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not sure quite what Pirates would do with this. I'm sure that you'll find something to do with it. But,
could we donate it to one of our allies to get extremely good port standing, or use it to negotiate trade deals with other systems for the thing of Drinax? Maybe that would offset some of this 10% crap that we always pay.
yeah.
It has a modular cutter too, so that,
It's got a modular cutter.
that could be released and give you cargo space if you wanted to.
That is true. So, yeah, actually, you could use it to do that. You could donate the ship to, you could donate the ship to a number of places. You could donate it to, if you were to donate this to, like, say, Palindrome, I mean, you're already in, or going to be in pretty good with Lady Yamar. So maybe Palindrome wouldn't be a good answer.
Well, there's Blue, and I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that's really in the neighborhood of Drinax.
Yeah. Blue, Marduk.
Try selling it too. You know, it's worth quite a bit.
Yeah,
We could auction it off.
Yeah, you could sell this and, make at least 80 mega credits off of it.
That's a nice chunk of change. What did you say, Captain?
We can sell it if you can sell anything there.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, 80 mega credits, that goes a long ways towards fixing up the Harrier.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And we could maybe get more because it's got the cutter. Or maybe they doesn't raise the price. I don't know.
No, that's true. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could probably. Since it is complete with the modular cutter, you could easily get actually 110 mega credits out of it.
Are we able to go ahead and browse the computer system and see about incriminating evidence against the GDCO or names of people that we could get dirt on due to questionable activities?
So you
any of that? So
you in searching through. So you guys are basically just sitting out in this long forgotten system, trying to think about and figure out your next move. And so you have plenty of time. So going through the Donosev, you find a couple of things. One, this is a registered scout to General Development Corporation. So there is a problem. Even selling this thing on Thieve, this thing is hot. Like, there's going to be, corporate red flags all over this thing. Insurance companies, everything is going to be like, wait, we know that VIN number. So that's an issue. As far as like incriminating evidence, the only thing that you find in the Donosev, there's not really any, incriminating evidence. This thing was doing what it was designed to do, and it was surveying the BT-SHT 365 system. This more or less proves that this system exists. Now, whether that's a good thing or not is hard to tell. Because it's really, it's your guys' call if you want anybody to know that this system is real.
I think that's the Dame's call, because it was like her birthright planet, right?
That is true.
We're probably going to need her skills to help get the scout, the shenanigans, and the destroyer all through jump, even on a J1. I mean, it's.
So she's willing to. So shenanigans, of course, has a conscious intelligence, but here's the thing about jump space: a ship cannot go generally. It cannot, and I'm not going to say this is 100%, but they can't go through jump space unless there is a living sophont on board.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows why, but something to do with that living interaction makes it work. Ships that have usually go through jump space without a living person on board, such as they've tried it with probes and things like that, they either don't exit when they're supposed to, and when I say supposed to, like they exit so far beyond what they're supposed to. You're supposed to be in for a week. they're in for long enough. There's a time dilation, you know, and the only thing that comes out the other end is slightly radioactive residue because they just grow old in this week. Other times, you know, they just never come out at all. Now, there have been cases where ships will come out of jump space or suddenly appear, and there's like nobody living on board. And almost 99% of the time, and these ships are commonly just called Flying Dutchmen. And the name applies because something funky is on that ship almost every single time. They are death traps in more ways than one, and you know, if you find, you know, a lot of pirate crews, if they suspect that a ship came out of jump space is a Flying Dutchman, they're like, you know what, it's just not worth it. We'll go find another ship, thanks, and they leave. So somebody has to be aboard, is basically what I'm saying. So she's willing to pilot Shenanigans back towards Drinax, which would leave one of you to pilot, have to pilot the Donosev, and another one of you to pilot, of course, the Rasputin. Now, I think you guys can actually do that.
If we could Rex our pet on the Shenanigans, could it jump?
No, because it is not considered a sophont.
God damn it. Okay, can we get super smart pills until it's considered one, and then damage its brain back to how it was? No,
In theory, someone without the skill sets could just ride on Shenanigans, and Shenanigans intelligence do the actual jumping, astrogation, and all of that.
That's true.
You just, yeah. So, I mean, that's like anybody could ride that one. We have to have people or be able to download the programs into my wafer jack to do that. And I don't currently have the programs to load.
Right, yeah, you would need to buy some expert programs for your wafer jack, which,
yeah,
you know, that would be great. So yeah, you're right. I mean,
a jump drive engineer, but I could pilot the other ship if we want to. Or another option is we could just leave the other ship and try to come back and get it later.
that's true. You could even send your pirates back to pick it up.
Yeah.
That might be good. Yeah, we could hide it somewhere, like on an asteroid or something.
we could at least take the drones, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, it's got a lot of useful drones that we could use to gather information before we put boots on the ground, so to speak.
So then my question is, if you send your pirates back to pick up the Donosev, the question then becomes, where do you want them to take it? Because like I said, they could take it to Thieves, but even on Thieves, this ship, because it is registered to Jadeco, it is super hot, like radioactive.
Should we try and ransom it back to Jadeco?
Should we part it out? Cut it up? Sell the
That's an
pieces?
idea.
You could do that. Yeah, you could.
Just
Yeah.
You go to chop shop?
Well, yeah. I mean, you could have them go back to your own space station on Borite, and basically have them do a shipwrecker operation and part this thing out.
That might be the best.
It is legitimate salvage.
That's right.
That's true. I mean, this unknown star system is sitting out in the middle of the Outrim Void, so yeah, it would be legitimate salvage, and there's nobody aboard.
Let's do it. That sounds like a plan.
Okay. All right, so it sounds like you've got this pretty much worked out, and you guys are able to make your jumps back to the floating palace of Drinax after many
Are
weeks.
we doing that before we go report in to the life-saving information that we have for the lady in Palindrome?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Isn't that on the way?
Let me bring up the map. So let's see. You.
But it's not particularly on the way. It's really kind of out of the way.
Where was she at?
So she is on Palindrome all the way down here.
And Drinax is here. It's not that far.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the way.
Okay.
You go here, jump to. Sort of hard to get here, but there's a interim spot, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you could make it. You could make it from Thalassa to Palindrome in 2 jumps.
We could probably also get some of her henchmen to help man this ship temporarily to Drinax in case we run into trouble.
Yeah, that might be problematic. So the thing with Palindrome is that politically it's weird. It is technically a dictatorship under Lady Yamar, and all of the people that hold political position and power are basically self-made pirates or pirates that she made wealthy. And so all of the crews on that planet belong to these people. And they just don't, they're not going to hire out for somebody else. They just don't care. They kind of have their own thing going on. But from Palindrome, it's only one more jump to Borite if you wanted to get some of your own crew, some of your own pirates to man this thing.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So long story short, in the course of, let's say, in the course of 4 weeks, you can be back on Drinax. Now, of course, that'll take 8 weeks for Shenanigans to catch up with you. Simply because it has half the rate of speed. But that's okay. You probably want to get there first anyways. And so...
Well, Shenanigans wouldn't even need to go by Palindrome, would it?
No. No. And let's see here. For Shenanigans...
That cut a little time off Shenanigans' trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. So yeah, Shenanigans could be there in 6 weeks, actually. Good call.
There's just a lot of money coming to us theoretically in Palindrome, in goodies and rewards.
So on Palindrome, you once again have your meeting with Lady Yamar. And actually,
And we've got 17 too.
it's funny. I forgot all about Palindrome, and I cleaned up. I cleaned up all my maps, and now I don't have the Palindrome maps. But anyways, so God damn it, Cassie, you're making me bleed. So Palindrome, you once again. Captain Beth and Ching Shi, you have your meeting with Lady Yamar. The rest of you are able to peruse around the spaceport that is Palindrome, Astrago City. And Lady Yamar invites you into her penthouse once again. And you can hear the psh, psh of her air machine. And she seems a little bit better this time around. She's a little bit more ambulatory, walking with a cane. Now, the information... So you're bringing her the doctor's head, the skin job's head. And basically what you found in the database, because you've had 4 weeks to or 3 weeks to go over this.
I also got all the files out of their hard drives.
Right, and this is part of where this is the information that you got. So this bioweapon was indeed created by Dr. Hardecker. You didn't find anything in there about any kind of antidote or vaccine, but you do find how he tweaked this bioweapon. Now, there's no notes on what this bioweapon did before he tweaked it. Only that he recognized that this is a bioweapon. It is a very peculiar pathogen. But he altered it. He's not sure what it was supposed to do originally. He had to alter it to work on human sophons. And Lady Yamar was the end result of this. But armed, of course, with this information, she will now be able to take this, with her regular treatments to Thieve, and maybe their doctors, she's got the best doctors available on Thieve, trying to look into this for her. Maybe they can find something. This will point them in the right direction, because nobody had any idea what this thing was before. She thanks you immensely. And having said that, she tells you, to reward you, she's going to reward you a couple of ways. The first is that she's going to pay you 1 mega credit right off the top. So, hold on here. Oop, that's too many zeros. There's 1 mega credit. So after your 10% cut for King Oleb, that'll leave you with 900,000. And if we go, let's divide it by 7. That gives each of you 128,571 credits, including that much going into the ship fund.
Can you please repeat that?
It's 128,571 credits. And the 7th share of that goes into the ship fund.
Got it.
So, I mean, that's pretty good. You actually made more than King Oleb did. That's actually kind of rare, but yeah, you did pretty good. So,
how do we spend those ship parts we got on the Capri Sun?
So the ship parts that you got, those are special ship shares, or I'm sorry, ship spares for the Capri Sun, and they came out shit, I forgot how many. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. I think there were 23 points that came out. Of that, I'm going to say, so the repairs for the Harrier are a little weird. So there are structural repair units, there are technical repair units, and there are cosmetic repair units. Right now, you have 16 SRU, 10 TRU, and 11 CRU. These 23, let's see. And we'll just make it 24. There are 8 of each that can be added to this, and then a certain number of those can be used to repair different parts of the ship. So right now, like for instance, the hull has been repaired. General systems have been repaired. Ventral hardpoint has been repaired, although it still looks like shit. It's about halfway there. You'll need to spend another 10 TRU to get that completely repaired. Maneuver drive has been repaired. Jump drive has been repaired. And then all you've really got are cosmetics such as bridge, crew accommodations, and lower deck. And so that currently, well, I don't have a, or do I? Maybe I do. I do.
Wasn't there something about the hull of this ship being able to reconfigure itself or go stealth or chameleon?
So, yes to most of that. So the hull of this ship, which is one of the first things they repaired, is it's got a holographic hull, and so you can change patterns, paint schemes, etc. It's not enough to make it look like a different class of ship, but you can change your outward appearance. Or not outward appearance. You can change your paint and your flag colors and things like that.
Okay.
Okay. I marked down +8 on all of those, so I know where we're at. The other thing is, though, is it does have stealth jump, and what that means is that when you guys emerge from jump space, you don't give off, with the Harrier, you don't give off the telltale radiation that a normal ship exiting jump space would get. And that means you can jump into a system or out of a system, and unless somebody is really good with electronic sensors, they're not going to see. They have to make a formidable sensors check to detect that you have emerged from jump space or have left. And then, of course, the last part of that is that you're really hard to see on sensors. It is a stealth ship. It is a pretty well thought out and designed commerce raider. I mean, this thing just screams piracy. So there, you've got repair units that you could. I mean, if you really want to put Keith to work, you could have him do the work at Drinax, or you could pay money and have the work done at Thieve. You've got a number of options there.
Yeah, I want to work on the bridge. I want to make the bridge nice.
All shiny and nice.
Yeah.
Did we get a return on our hostages that we sold?
You did.
She was going to broker that for us in Palindrome.
You certainly did. I forgot all about that.
I never forget my collections.
So those three were worth 1.7 mega credits. We take 0.10 of that. So King Oleb will take 170,000. Which means you all will get 1.53 mega credits. Hold on here. All right, I'm just going to type this number into chat. This is again divided by 7. You all get 218,571 credits. Or you guys can give Ting a double share since this was kind of his idea.
No. I just want to do it all as if it was a crew effort. Everybody, if big bounties get put on their head, they're going to mount all our heads on a pike.
That's true.
Just the same.
That is true.
And so I'm not trying to cheat the crew. I got to be loyal to something.
Cool, man.
Thanks, Ting.
Anytime. I appreciate your patience with my shenanigans.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. So Ox, while they are meeting with Lady Yamar, you are down in Astrago City, making your way in and out of different casinos and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Make a Recon plus Intellect check.
Okay. $11.
Okay. As you're moving through the light crowds of people, you're coming out of a casino, and as somebody else is coming in, they bump into you. And as you walk away, you feel in your jacket pocket like your jacket's heavier. And you reach into your pocket, and you find this strange disc. Let me look at this. That's too far. Where is it? It is a featureless black disc about the size of your palm. And it almost looks like a CD, except that it's completely black, and there's no hole in the middle of it.
Interesting. Well, we have our little comm chips, right, for our group comm.
Yes. Well, you've got. I would imagine you guys have your mobile comms. I would think it's pretty ubiquitous. I would think everybody probably has a mobile comm, a tech level 12 watch, which is a smart watch, and a comm dot, which is essentially an earpiece, all attached to your phones. Or mobile comms.
Team set up some sort of secure network for us, correct?
Maybe.
I would have advised that. if we had not. Surely I would, as much as I like to poke around people's business.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, yeah, you probably, because your mobile comms are going to have the capability of connecting to your own private network.
Well, I'll mention to the group that somebody just planted this on me and what it looks like. Not sure what it means. If anybody's, recognizes the description.
Yeah, and you can send. I mean, your mobile comms are capable of video chat. So you can show everybody this thing.
Well, I don't know if I want to hold the thing out and wave it around while I'm taking a video of it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not gonna, be obvious that, hey, well, what's this in my pocket, and blow any covert passing of information right now.
Okay. So
I guess we'll go back to the ship, maybe see if we can figure out what it is.
Okay. So you start to head back to the ship. And so Ching, Shi, and Beth, you're still meeting with Lady Yamar. Your phones beep with this new information. You can hear him telling you through your comm dot. The last part of the reward is that Lady Yamar is going to grant Palindrome as a haven for you guys. So if you are you've got a couple of planets that are havens now. If you're on the run, you can use Palindrome as a bolt hole. They will hide you, they will protect you, they will feed you until you are ready to leave again. Until the fuzz cools down. Palindrome at this point in time is not. She really isn't interested in joining the new kingdom of Drinax. She kind of, in her raspy voice, she's like, kind of laughs about it. She thinks the whole idea of Oleb's plan of starting a new Sindalian empire with his kingdom as the crowning jewel is kind of silly. She doesn't think that the Third Imperium or the Aslan Herate or the Florian League or, holy shit, the Jodani, she doesn't think any of them are going to take him serious, but, she admits maybe she's wrong and maybe in the future she'll change her mind, but she really doesn't have any interest in that. At least not right now. And so yeah, Palindrome becomes a haven. And then she says that, and she says this kind of in passing, she says that she is going to, and she says this to Beth, that she thinks that she's going to sponsor you.
Wait, what? Do I have a drinking problem?
And she laughs at that, and she says, no, let me converse with my contacts, and you will be notified of if anything of this nature comes out. But
Awesome.
I will speak well of you.
Thank you, Lady R.
So, you walk on out back to your ship, or rather, the Rasputin. Quite a bit richer than you were. Things have really worked out well at the end of this. And you get back on the ship. And so Ting, or I'm sorry, Ox, you have an opportunity to show everybody this black disc.
And I will do so.
Before we take it on the ship, can we make sure it's not like some weird tracker or something like that?
Well, that's why I thought I'd bring it up to everybody.
Yeah, I just mean let's not be standing on the bridge of our ship when we try and do anything with it. Maybe let's stand in the driveway in front of the ship rather than
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that he's
just in case.
he's probably sitting outside, waiting for you guys before going aboard. Who would like? Everybody can make a. Make an electronics plus intellect check.
I only got a 7.
9.
Got a 6.
An 8.
So Qingxi and Ox got it. Keith, what'd you get?
11.
Okay. So Keith, Qingxi, and Ox determine that this is some kind of computer device.
It appears to be technology.
Yes, it is technology.
Very helpful.
It's not just a black frisbee. It is
It's
technology.
not a hockey puck.
Right.
It seems to be mechanical in nature.
Yes.
Who would like to try to activate this thing using electronics, computers, plus intellect or education?
Not me.
I'll give
That
it a
was
try.
neat, right?
Okay.
They put it in my pocket. Let me take a whack at it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Ox should do it.
I mean, worst thing could happen, it'll blow up.
Yeah, and
Okay.
as
Okay.
such, I'm going to put the face shields up and stand behind something just in case. You guys are on your own if it blows up.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna just
interstellar
quietly
cops come
edge
running around.
away from Ox as subtly as I can, just in case.
Yeah, the interstellar cops will come running around the corner, and there's a computer full of kitty porn or something.
Right. So your mobile comms actually also work as a computer /1, and Ox, you fiddle around with this thing, and you get it to fire up on your mobile comm. It is basically a portable
Subscription.
Yeah, it's a portable storage device. The disk contains information on each of you. Information that you don't know how they would have got. For instance, it has Beth's entire career path. It has Qingxi's military record. It has Keith's military record with Chachi La Weetakwe. It has Ting's background, including when he was knighted on Yggdrasil. And it has numerous information such as imperial arrest warrants, old naval records, DNA traces. Not for all of you, but it has specific DNA traces from Beth, Qingxi, and Rexar, and Keith, lifted from their time on Tech World when they looted the Imperial treasure ship.
That's scary.
Yeah, let's stay away from Tech World, guys.
And then, out of the middle of the...
nanites inside your body that you got infected with that are reporting this shit?
Maybe.
Out of the middle of this disc, it then... The disc itself kind of unfolds, kind of like black metallic origami, and it projects a perfect hologram, the image of a humanoid figure, his features concealed behind a silvery mask. Greetings. Your presence is requested discreetly on Tech World, where matters of mutual interest and profitability may be discussed. We offer you this gift as a mark of our respect in the hopes of a future friendship. And then the hologram goes back into the disc and it folds up.
Fucking Tech World, really? They're like, here, we data mined you. like a muffin basket from Tech World, your personal information.
It's the equivalent of like Facebook stalking your ex-boyfriend, hoping to get back together.
Right.
I like senior frogs now too.
Oh my god. I'm pretty sure that as a group we spent too much time looking at 4chan as well. I don't know if that's a good thing. So yeah, there's this disc. Somebody is requesting your presence on, and you don't even know who this is because, like I said, the hologram, the person's face was covered by a silvery mask.
Well, the guy who did all the murderings no longer in the crew. So, and we genuinely don't know where he is.
That's true.
So I don't know. We didn't actually do anything. We were just accomplices. You know.
No, we stole a bunch. So
Yeah, that's true. They have our. How do we leave DNA behind? Oh well. Okay, so our presence is requested on Tech World, and then we need to go to Drinax to try and untangle where the mystery trajectory leads to, and I'm trying to think of what else we have to do.
I know there's so many dangling threads.
Yeah.
So there is still, and I will remind you of this. There is still the investigation that Athaku and Bjorn were doing.
Oh shit!
Into the debutante that snuck aboard a pirate vessel on Blue and vanished, and you discovered that the school that she was going to was Jadeko run, possibly Psionic Academy, etc., etc. And she's still missing. So that's still floating out there. Other than that, you guys have kind of tied up a bunch of loose ends all at once. So I can't think.
I think we should go to Drinax with the damn destroyer and get all ships to the floating palace, and then figure out what the fuck we want to do. But I mean, that's a pretty.
Yeah, I do want to show off all that we did, and I really want to know where the mystery trajectory is supposed to take us. It'd be awesome to find out.
Okay.
It's been a while since we went back.
So you guys go. Yeah, it has been a while since you've been back to home port, and so you guys pull in the conquering heroes in Drinax, and as you dock the Rasputin at the Royal Docks, the people are. At first, there's a large crowd of people that are forming, and they're speechless. Like, you step off the ship, and there's just, like, you can hear a pin drop, and there's, like, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people that are standing there looking at this gigantic Sindalian destroyer. And their mouths are just hanging open. And then, as if on cue, they all start clapping and cheering. And coming through, pushing people out of the way, comes Admiral Rax. And he comes up and just immediately informed. Rax doesn't like you. He doesn't like pirates. He thinks this idea of using pirates to rebuild the Sindalian Empire and the Kingdom of Drinax is stupid, and you shouldn't have the Harrier. He should have the Harrier as his flagship. But even he is looking at this thing in awe. And he says, His Majesty would like to speak with you immediately.
Of course.
And So you come in to the throne room, and King Oleb, sitting on the, I forget the name of their throne. It's not the Iridium throne. But it is very Game of Thrones. Well, it's just the dragon throne. And it is very uncomfortable. It is made out of hulls of ships that Drinax has defeated in the past. And as you come in, he immediately stands up, comes up, and shakes each of your hands. He says, "This is..."
Where's the princess?
The princess?
Yeah, where's she?
So he, first of all, he thanks each of you for your service. You have done, bringing this to Drinax. This is our key to bloody victory. Soon the entire Trojan Reach will be in fear of Drinax. Our kingdom is assured with a ship like this.
Yeah.
Princess Rao does come out, and King Oleb is quick to try and push her and Qing Shi together and be like, "Oh, you guys need to get to know one another. I mean, if you're going to, if Qing Shi is going to be the queen consort someday, you should spend some time getting to know one another." And so Princess Rao kind of rolls her eyes and says, that she tells Qing Shi to meet her in the royal gardens later this evening.
Sweet. Gardens it is.
So you guys can walk through the garden, like on the Game of Thrones South Park episode where they walk through the guy's garden, constantly scheming. "Get out of my garden, you damn kids! Stop your scheming!" And so Oleb, of course, wants to have techs from the Scholars Tower to go over this ship, with a fine-tooth comb, and essentially he wants the techs from the Scholars Tower to put this into their databases. He has this grand plan at some point in the future of building more of these, because nobody has ever seen a ship like this. There's no, to the Scholars account, there's no record of there ever being a class of ship like this, even in the Sindalian Navy. They think that this may have been a custom job for the Petrovsky family.
We should talk about the noble that's coming in on shenanigans that's going to try to lay claim to the ship.
So what do you tell him about her?
She's the entire reason that we found the ship, and that she has claim to a planet, but that it's not inhabitable, and that we got the shenanigans as payment.
Okay. Shenanigans is an Empress Morava class. He's like, yeah, that's great. You have another ship. He's far more interested in the Rasputin. But he's also...
I will tell him that she plans to pledge allegiance to him.
Yeah, I should have said that. So, thank you.
Oh, well, if that will solidify putting something like this escort destroyer in our navy, then she can bloody well hang around the court all she wants. Shit, I'll give her a new title.
That would be nice.
Yeah, she'd like it.
Yeah. I'd like a new title.
So, between now and next week, think over what you would like to do on Drinax before you leave for Tech World. I mean, I know that you're going to want the the scholars at the tech or at the scholars and techs from the scholars tower are going to attempt to go through their database, and because that's the whole purpose of the scholars tower, is that they have essentially all of the libraries of the Sindalian Empire. They're like the last repository of what the Empire's technology level was. And Drinax would be a lot better if they had the money to make any of this stuff. Unfortunately, they don't, so they have to dole it out little bits at a time. And so they are going to spend their time going through their archives looking for this encryption key to try and unlock the astrogation computer so you can get some exact coordinates on where it's trying to lead you. So that's what they will be doing while you're doing other things. This could take weeks, it could take months. I mean, Sindalian Empire was around for a while. They were tech level 15, so there's quite a bit of reading these guys are going to have to do. So between now and next week, aside from Qing Shi's date with Princess Rao, think about if there's anything you want to do while you're on the floating palace. You could go to Rashando's Bazaar, for example, if you wanted to do a little bit of shopping or put in an order for something that he doesn't have. You could hang around the court and talk with various nobles at the court. There's all sorts of things that you could do before you decide to leave for Tech World. Or you could just, say, fuck it, load up into the Harrier and leave for Tech World. That's entirely up to you.
All right, I'll think about it.
So we will...
We're on the destroyer, before we totally hand it over, was there any combat armor or anything of the Sindalian stuff?
There was not. However, you did pick up a number of so you picked up at least 4 Gauss rifles. You can put that on your party kitty. I would imagine that you probably picked up 1 static blade and 4 Gauss pistols. And in addition to that, of course, there were the breaching guns, Sindalian officers' pistols, the revolvers. This ship also, the Rasputin, also came with a Sindalian officer's sword that was in the sheath holder on the captain's chair. Now, Sindalian officer swords are usually created specific to that ship. They're actually crafted out of the same material as the hull of the ship. So this is an archaeological find of immense importance, because nobody's got a ship with the matching sword. Keith has a sword, but it's not a sword matching a ship. So this is the first time you guys have actually seen this in the wild.
That's cool.
I think it should be a glass case somewhere, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Or just leave it on the bridge. I mean, whatever. Or take it, whatever.
Well, and if the Admiral guy is going to then at some point use this ship, it seems like a show of good faith, since he doesn't trust us, to leave the sword there or even point it out to him, so that it's like, we did it. It's something really cool and we didn't steal it. You can trust us.
That is true. So that'll be part of the court intrigue that we can get into. And we will pick this up with that leading in next week at 7 o'clock.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night, guys. I will see you next week.